Welcome folks to the Elance Outsourcing Personal Tour. This is West reporting in and hoping you're having a fun time going through the pack and learning lots and lots about outsourcing so you can transform your business. This is the front page of Elance. Obviously, if you haven't got an account with Elance yet, you'll need to basically click, there'll be a link up here somewhere that'll say sign up. I'm already a member. I've already used Elance on a few occasions, and I'll be more than happy to take you through and talk you through some of the processes and some of the parts of the website that you need to be familiar with. So make sure you get a free account. I believe you'll have to verify a few things if you're serious about getting some work done here. These sites are cracking down on security and identity, so you might have to provide 3 to 4 forms of identification, a credit card and a few other things, which is good for you. Basically, let me just close that. Sorry about that. The more identification that you basically give, the safer it is for you, and the safer it is for the coders. So I'll just point this out now. This gentleman is a guy called Timothy Ferriss, who wrote the 4-Hour Workweek. It's a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, it's all about basically outsourcing your entire life, making your life highly leveraged and enabling you to do the things that you want to do. It's a good little video. I recommend you just having a little listen to Tim, and definitely getting a hold of his book or audiobook if you can. So let's have a look at some of the important parts of the website. I'm going to go to MyElance. Again, similar to Rentacoder, what you'll find on Elance is a selection of either coders coming to look for work or people like yourself who are looking to get jobs done. Okay, so the majority of people on this site will actually be providers, people actually wanting to provide the work, believe it or not. So that's a good thing for you. Means a lot of people are competing to bid on your projects. So let's have a look at your interface. Now once you sign up, as I said, you'll go through all the verifications and that sort of stuff. You can click on My Projects. Now these are a few projects I've had in the past before, through various university degrees and stuff like that. Let's have a look at this one. Now that was the title of my project. I believe we actually worked this one through. These are all the bids that came through. Okay, some of them are here. And what happens when you actually get a ton of bids is you need to start looking at different criteria in order to choose the coder that's going to work really well, really diligently, is going to work at a good price and is going to stay with you. So that's important when looking for a coder. Now Elance is in general good for writing. I found people who have really good English, people who are highly qualified, have lots and lots of experience writing journals, newsletters, articles, ebooks at reasonable prices. I mean, in recent times the market has tended to become a little bit overinflated. Elance is one of those sites where kind of upper class writers and professionals will come and offer their services on. So if you're looking for rock bottom deals, or you're looking for a place where you can just pay the cheapest price for a job, Elance is probably not the place to go. But if you're looking for a good quality writer, someone who can actually produce content, if you have a membership site, or if you're looking at writing a book or getting a book ghostwritten, or looking at a series of emails for your client base, then on almost any topic you'll be able to find a good writer on Elance. You know, you'll pay them what they're worth, but I think they will deliver for you. So this one, I wanted to basically get some e-classes written, so I put up the listing, got a whole range of bidders on the project. It was a significant range. Average bid was $156 US, and I ended up choosing one of the gentlemen who delivered really well and is still working for me today. And it's probably been 6 months later. So this again, look similar to the other sites. You can have a look at a provider. Now this Elance is actually a lot more ergonomically designed, much better navigation than what Rentacoder is. You can have a look at their portfolio of that particular provider, and it'll show you the past projects that they've done. It'll show you some of the feedback that they've had. There's some samples up here. You can have a look at their style of writing. You can have a look at their past ratings from other clients. So they've had a lot of good ratings here. 2 neutral, 1 negative. That's pretty good. Their total earnings. So these are all stats you take into account when you're looking at choosing a coder. I also like to have a look at their past projects and see what kind of industries they've been writing for. Have a look at the kind of the scope. You can tell by the prices whether it's been big projects or small projects or medium projects. So this writer seems to be a good one. I would also look at their profiles. Sometimes they have websites, sometimes they give out some of their qualifications, sometimes they like to give samples. Here we go. So you can then just read through all of those, read through all their things. I think, you know, if you're really serious about getting a long-term writer for you that's doing having a long-term relationship, who's doing quite important work for you that you could see happen on a long-term basis, or if it's an important product such as a book or an ebook or something like that, then it is important to do your due diligence, because it'll save you a lot of heartache and pain later on. So if you want to post a new project on Elance, you just click on the Post New Project button, and it's similar to Rentacoder. You need to go through all these things, so type in your title, description, that sort of stuff, when you would like it done, use escrow. Now, so escrow, Elance holds the funds. Once you've deposited the funds into Elance, either via your credit card or via PayPal, Elance will hold on to it, and it won't release the funds to